That's exactly what
Yeah,
it
the
is.
only power that women hold are how they can sway and manipulate men into doing what they
Nope,
want.
nope, they don't hold
But
that
if
power
men just
either. They don't hold that either. The only power they hold is power men give them. That's it.
well,
So
yeah,
seduction, things like that. Those are again powers that men are granting you, right? To be
yeah,
a seductress, somebody has to be seduced, right?
Mm. Hmm.
So if somebody cannot be seduced, the seductress has no power and can't rely on force. And so you're back to the same problem again.
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
Get rid of the simps. Get rid of the simps. Get them all out. Simps destroy society.
Yeah. It's wild that, like, 'cause I align with what you're saying. Like you said, it's not going to be in our time. We're not going to see a change that we want to see in our lifetime. But we can do the change. We can make the change for our children's lifetime. You
Correct.
know?
Yeah. So what you're trying to do right now, it's called root setting. So
Yeah.
you, Glenn Lawrence, right? You could go set up a franchise. Let me explain what I mean. Okay. You could go and buy some property somewhere in North America. I don't fucking know where. Okay. Near some water and,
We're like around
and, put
Michigan.
up, yeah, and put up a little cabin. Okay. And get yourself a girl, right? I know you're married, right? But this is a
Yeah.
hypothetical. You get yourself a
Yeah.
girl, right? And she has 20 of your babies.
Yep.
Okay. And now suddenly you kind of almost have a little town under yourself,
Got a
right?
football team, at
And
least.
then suddenly there's little buildings which are popping up again. Well, by the fourth or fifth generation of that, that's how you end up with things like Smithville, right, and
Hmm.
Eastmanville, and shit like this, because people go and set up these kind of rooted franchises. Well, if you have a bunch of people who are somewhat closely related, or they have shared goals, outsiders are coming in, things like that. Suddenly, power dynamics begin to shift on the kind of national level. You need to attack localization. You need to attack the localized efforts if you want to sway power, and people need to become rooted. And the only way to do that is to have families. You can only become rooted with a family. Otherwise, you're just essentially a single nomad, right? And that's what many men are becoming, are nomadic rather than
Yeah.
rooted.
That is true. That's actually really true. So I got a $5 super chat from ZT Din. She said, take us back to my initial question. If change is to occur, accountability needs to be acknowledged. And her original question was continuing with the accountability theme, what was the initial motive for men to promote feminism, and how does that apply to us today?
The original motivation was there was rich industrialists,
So I thought financial.
like yeah, like Carnegie, Rockefeller, people like this, who very, very publicly uh, made the kind of bold claim that they wanted cheap labor in their factories. And it was a very anti-immigrant country when it came to uh, foreign labor. So you weren't getting cheap labor then, like you can now. And
Yeah.
they rich industrialists wanted cheap labor, and they really pushed and funded this. What ended up happening is nobody voted this in. So women, the ultimate irony is that women, when given the option to vote on voting, voted against it. And women were never actually allowed to vote on whether they wanted suffrage or not. The Supreme Court just kind of rammed it through.
Mm. Yeah, like, so really it's just like it's all been about money the entire time. Like the sexual revolution, women working, it's all been about money. It has nothing been about liberation.
No, it's not. Well, no, the perversion, the perverse nature of the thing is that, at least this is my perspective. If I kind of take a bird's eye view, is that patriarchy and patriarchal societies, which are pushed patriarchal, are extremely
Mhm.
dangerous to not only industrialists and governments, but they're kind of extremely dangerous to the idea of feminism. And so, what feminists have always done is they've always moved towards ideas which are anti-patriarchal, always. And this mainly and primarily seems to be the attack of the nuclear family or the rooted family, right?
Yeah.
So this is why, I think all the propaganda, which is anti-family or alternative family, is something which is pushed so heavily. And it's because having established patriarchal orders inside of, these kind of micro-rooted families, well, that's a huge power differential which exists, and they've pretty effectively gotten rid of it at this point.
Yeah.
The rooted idea of the nuclear family is basically gone. And so to answer the question of one of the chatters says, why do we care what people do with their genitals? Well, we care because we have an idea of what a family is supposed to be and what we should be promoting. And we're not doing that. We're doing the opposite of that. And it's not really working well. So why you whine about, what about healthcare and education? All right. Well, I would like to educate people to have families. I'd like to educate people to take their rightful place as the head of a family. I'd like to educate people to tell them that having children's okay, and that having a traditional style nuclear family is fine. That these things are not only good and acceptable, but should be promoted for the health. You're talking about healthcare, for the health of the nation. That's the healthiest nation I can imagine. Now, let's look at your nation, on the other hand, okay, which is full of people who are cutting off their penises and calling themselves women. It's full of all sorts of STDs. It's full of, tons and tons and tons of single moms. It's full of all of these things, all of these social plagues. And you're worried about education and healthcare. Okay, well, your education system is not working really well, is it? It's educating them to do the wrong things, isn't it? And your healthcare system is cutting their penises off to help them with their mental health.
Well, to be fair,
okay,
that could be why you need to focus on education and healthcare if they're both corrupt and doing.
They've been focusing on education and healthcare for 70 years,
but not in the right way.
The problem is, well, what's the right way? I mean, if you say to me, I want the education system.
Education.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you say I want the education system to promote a family value unit of a man and a woman and their children. Right.
My kids are not in public education, by the way.
No, I get it. But if you were to say to me, that's what I want to see out of education, is that's one of the social norms which is promoted, I'd be like, yeah, sure. That sounds great. Sounds fantastic. Right. Let's do that. But that's not what they're doing. They're doing the opposite of that. They're going, no. This is a family. It's just any two human beings. The family can be a commune of people who all butt fuck each other and they raise children together. And it's like, no, that's not a family. I don't know what that is. That's some perverse bullshit. But you're being educated that it's okay, right? You're being educated it's okay. You can have a throuple now. And didn't you see we have thruples who adopt children? Like, yeah, take your education and shove it up your fucking ass, right? If that's what you're educating people to do, no thanks. I think no. I think I'm good.
Yeah, it was when they started a program, and this is in rural Oklahoma, and they started a program teaching kids about transgender and accepting it and educating them about it. Which, be whatever you want to be, do what you do, but I don't think that has a place to teach my 9 and 10-year-old at the time, and then after this, it was within a couple of months, my 10-year-old at that time turned 11-year-old. She came home and we were talking, and she told me that there were 2 girls holding hands and kissing on the bus that were only 12 years old. And I was like,
let me ask you a question, Ashley. How do women become so fucking stupid that they actually will say something like this out loud and think it makes sense? You ready? Teen pregnancy, says Michelle, goes down when you teach real sex education. Abstinence promotion increases it. Okay, I can't fathom how somebody can actually believe that unless they have been educated to believe it. Because it's probably the dumbest fucking thing that I've ever heard in my life. And they'll go, wait, studies have nope, studies don't show that. It's not what they show. You can cherry pick studies that can come to some sort of conclusion that you can then cherry pick out and think that that's what it's saying. But they don't actually say that.
I can see
They
both
don't
sides
actually
of
say that
I can see
abstinence
both.
promotion. So this idea is you have to let people coom, because if you don't let them coom, then they're going to secretly coom. That's what she's saying. That's the argument.
Some people will, but on a whole, like if society were the way, like let's just, hypothetically, if society were the way you're saying it should be, let's say in this perfect world, I agree that all of this stuff would go down, right? But in a current degenerate society, teaching degenerate people how to protect themselves from these things could also help it go down. I'm just saying, like playing devil's advocate.
You know what would probably really help it go down? Right? Get rid of all forms of contraception, and then people have to actually live with the consequences of what they do. That would fucking make it go down in the long term, in the long run.
Oof.
I bet women would suddenly lock their fucking legs up real quick, and men would keep it in their pants real fucking quick if they had to live with the consequence of what sex was. But they don't.
I mean, personally, I could say I never got pregnant unless I tried to get pregnant with my husband, and I personally say that, but I don't know.
Greetings. How's the panel?
Yeah,
doing?
well, I personally have to deal with the consequences too, because birth control doesn't work for me.
Well, birth control also fucks up your guys' heads.
Yeah, I've never.
Well,
I don't. I worked for OBGYN for almost 10 years. I strongly disagree with hormonal birth control. I've personally, I took it for about 3 months and had a lot of side effects, and then realized that honestly, this is a serious thing we're doing to our body. It increases your risk of cancer.
No.
Hormones.
It helps with safe sex, actually.
Right. And
we have to educate people. You got to educate people.
It also increases your risk of stroke and heart attack because it's somewhat of a blood clotter. It has somewhat of a blood clotting effect. Anyway, it's just hormonal birth control is just in no way, shape, or form good for anybody. I do not agree with hormonal birth control.
I don't agree with birth control either, and I'm not on birth
control.
But
wait, an entire generation of
women when
women.
they're teenagers. As soon as they get their periods or they gets put on it. About 14 years old.
Pills to high schoolers, What's the big deal?
That's what happened to me.
You gotta be safe.
There are health benefits to it, but that's questionable. There's still
but the thing is,
what health benefits? That they don't have their period for a while?
No, it's okay. Look, it's fine. You can have an entire generation educated to take birth control, which they were. That's Michelle's utopia. To coom. Because if you don't let them coom, then they're going to coom. You see. This is the logic. If you don't let people coom, if you don't let them coom, they're going to coom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Great logic. Fantastic.
Say congrats on your 4K subs. I didn't know you were already there. And
yeah, thank you.
I was trying to congratulate you from the chat, but apparently I'm still shadow banned, so I was unable to tell you congratulations. So maybe your mods.
You probably did something. I
probably said words.
Probably did something.
You're right.
Yeah.
But anyways, I just wanted to personally tell you congratulations, since your mods won't allow me to do it through chat.
Well, hang on. It's a covenant community. This is your libertarian utopia. So it's a covenant community
with our voice.
Yeah, and you can discriminate in the covenant community, and you've been discriminated against. So it's fine.
Hi Andrew.
Somebody in chat
talking to Dave, by the way.
Somebody in chat talking about birth control for men being tested. I've seen a lot of stuff about this too.
Nobody cares about that. Actually.
Fucking weird.
Anyway, so Andrew, I want to congratulate you on your second round with Dave Smith, because the first round went pretty well.
Yeah, who cares, dude? You're going to be on someone else's channel talking shit about me in 15 minutes. Why do I care about your phony baloney? Congratulations, dude. Your phony ass fucking. Oh, Andrew, I wanted to say you're fucking just another backbiter. Just fuck off, dude.
What am I backbiting about?
You'll be on another asshole's fucking channel talking shit about me like you always do.
Oh, I've got my own channel for that. I don't have to go.
Yeah, so I don't know why you're congratulating me, why you want to be buddy, right? We're not friends. You're a backbiting piece of shit.
I think it's progress, because you won't argue with me about libertarianism, so at least you'll hear Dave Smith out.
I've wrecked you on libertarianism so many times, not even funny. And on top of that, you won't put your face behind your words, and so you're not.
I know I'm a coward. I refuse to show up to debates, and I know I'm just a spineless coward. You got me there, bro.
You are.
Well, okay, let's get back to our conversation because we were talking about like what we could do. Vi, so I appreciate
screwing it up again.
I appreciate you coming up here and congratulating me. Thank you.
No, don't worry. Don't worry. You'll be on Based Oracle's channel talking about how you're PDF file adjacent in 5 days, Glenn, or 2 days, or maybe 2 days. But he's going to come on here and tell you congratulations. You're doing a great job. Right?
I can speak for myself.
These fucking people. These people are so fucking duplicitous, dude. Totally duplicitous. Talk out of both sides of their mouth, and the more anonymous they are, the more often they do it.
Again, Glenn, I can talk for myself if you want me to. Andrew doesn't have to talk for me, but that's okay. I'll wait until he's done.
Well, tell Glenn about how you go and you fucking talk shit about him on other people's channels. Tell him about it.
Okay, Glenn, since he wants to talk about it, I guess I could go out into the panelverse and tell people to like shadow ban people that talk shit against me, like Grid One Sports or something like that. I could like tell him, don't allow anyone who talks shit about someone else on your panel. Mute that.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is obfuscation. This is obfuscation. You're not actually answering to the charge. Why do you go to other channels talk shit about Glenn? Why are you going on a guy's channel? Why are you going on a guy's channel who's saying that he's a PDF file? They're saying he's a PDF file. He's PDF file adjacent. You're going on his channel and you're sparking those flames. You're totally duplicitous. Oh, but congratulations on your 4K, Glenn. Shut up, dude. Shut up.
You saying that because you told me you don't align with that.
Yeah, they do run with that.
I'm a regular member of Glenn Lawrence's channel. I frequently come on here and talk to him about all kinds of things.
And you frequently go on other people's channels and you stir it up and you talk a bunch of shit, and that's what you do.
It's very that I brought up on this panel, Glenn.
Dude, you were over on a panel with Jake from Project VOPod.
Yeah, that's a perfect example of another channel I'm not allowed on anymore because of
because you're duplicitous. And what you did was you set an ambush up against that kid, and you were doing everything you could to stoke the fire of these ridiculous allegations that Glenn Lawrence is PDF file adjacent. Oh, but congratulations on your 4K.
I don't remember saying anything about Glenn on Jake's
channel.
Bro,
they were going at it about this, and you were completely agreeing with Based Oracle on this. Yes, you were.
I disagree with Based Oracle all the time, dude. We very rarely agree on shit.
Well, you certainly agreed on that.
You were trying to convince everybody Saturday night to suck his dick. Shut up! I told you.
No, actually, I was trying to convince you to debate him, Ashley, since you're always talking
super,
shit about him.
No.
super duplicitous, man. You just super duplicitous. What do you want me to say? That's why I don't have any respect for you.
Debate, like adults and shit.
That's not debate.
You know what I'm talking about. You legitimately were trying to convince that Star girl to like Based Oracle and talking him up and blah blah blah. And then
sometimes I like it when people share ideas. I think they should get together and be friends. That's true.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying, like, Andrew will listen to Dave Smith, but he won't listen to me. So I encourage
Dave Smith's not running around going on channels where people are saying I'm PDF file adjacent. That's you, buddy.
Did I say
no,
that?
you're on those channels and you're definitely stoking the flames. You're stoking the fires to try to get people stirred up and upset. But anybody who would make such an allegation against Glenn Lawrence, why would you even waste your time with him anyway?
So, Glenn, are we not allowed to be on channels where people say bad things? Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, I already said before, like, anybody that's going to be aligning with somebody that's going to be spewing that rhetoric, that's where I draw the line. I don't have nothing to do with them.
Like what kind of rhetoric? Like fresh and fit rhetoric?
No, like the rhetoric that basically saying that the lies that he's spewing about me. And the other nonsense that I already said that. That's why I even messaged that to Ashley. Or not Ashley.
I know, and
Sarah.
I tried to get Ashley to talk to him, but she won't talk to him either. I even got her on Sarah's.
Shut up! I literally messaged him for weeks and talked to his moderator, and he claims he didn't read my messages. Then goes around and screen shares them. He says he's not interested. Then goes on and makes like hours-long shit-talking streams, making all these crazy allegations. Last night, he said that Glenn and I called him an actual PDF file. We never did that. I clipped it, Glenn. Like literally, this is bullshit. I-Fi, you're so full of shit.
Okay, well, I promised Glenn I wouldn't mention a certain person, so I'm not going to talk about him anymore. So if anyone has a beef with someone else on another channel, I suggest you go to him and fight him.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah. If anybody has
he rage
if anybody
quit
has the most bad faith,
his own Discord last night. So yeah.
If anybody has the most bad faith analysis of what's actually going on, then I mean, I guess we can just go with that. We'll go with your bad faith analysis. We'll just do that. Because what's actually happening is we're saying you can't go on channels where people disagree with you. Not saying that it's pretty duplicitous to come on and congratulate a guy, while at the same time stirring up shit on other channels where people are calling that same guy a PDF file. I'm just saying it doesn't seem that consistent to me.
Video and see if I stirred up shit, Glenn.
You should go back and watch what happened with Jake's Project Veopod.
I haven't watched a bunch of channels that you're on, so I don't know what you're saying on channels that I don't frequent.
I'm talking about this channel, Glenn. Did I stir up shit on this channel, Glenn? Did I come in here?
I only do it not to your face, Glenn. I only do it not to your face.
I only hear one person stirring up shit on this panel, Glenn. Is it me?
Oh, most certainly. I'm pointing out that you have a duplicitous nature. That's why I don't like you.
Thank you, sir. I do try.
Yeah.
I've learned from Weirdo John, the master. He taught me well.
All right, well, I-Fi, I'm gonna get back to our regular conversation.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I appreciate
Your kind, or what were we talking about?
I appreciate your kind words and your congratulations.
All right, that's all I wanted to. Like I said, I couldn't do it from chat, so please allow my chat to be turned back on, and maybe Grid One and Project Veopod will turn my chat back on as well, since I'm not allowed to talk there either for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's some common element that you all share. I don't know, but anyways,
I think common element is I-Fi.
The common element is you, dummy. You're the common element.
Oh, they're all banning me because of me. It's not someone else.
Yes, they're all banning you because of you, stupid. Yeah, it's not me.
Oh,
are you saying that they're banning you because of me? Is that what you're saying? Not because of you?
Well, moving on, better conversations. Because I really wanted to continue talking about like what you were saying about like the grassroots movement, counter campaigning against the leftist agenda. Like, so let's say I wanted to do that. Like, what would I be trying to do? Like going to LA? Am I going down to like the colleges when they're doing a rally and then just kind of like trying to speak against it? Like, what does that look like?
Well, I mean, right now, conservatives have been doing that, and it is somewhat successful. But right now, there's not much you can do anymore because this election cycle is basically done. But you can kind of begin to do groundswell organization coming up for the midterms and preparing for the midterms and preparing to do counter canvassing. That's very localized and it's very small, but it doesn't take a lot of resources and it can get really big results. So I would just start there.
Okay. Got a $5 super chat from the Raging Patriot. Good friend. He goes, I-Fi, YT is here now, and you see what happens. All right. I don't know what YT is.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't know. YouTube.
That's what I thought, at least. So like we would need funding, right? We would still need funding to do the same, like the counter to counter like the what is it, to counter the liberals like
yeah, but that's super easy to get, right? There's hundreds of Republican PACs and super PACs, and you can just go to the super PACs and say, hey, look, we're requesting funding for a canvassing effort. We're going to be in this area, right? This is a person who you endorse. And we're going to pay some volunteers, not a lot, maybe $100 a day or something, to assist in canvassing and getting the message out there. And those guys usually will assist in the funding. That's what those PACs are there to do.
So like, do you have to like find a PAC or connect with the PAC, or do the PACs find you? Like, how does that?
So in politics, libertarians do this, Republicans, Democrats, all of them. They have kind of these meet and greet, social dinners and things like this. And it's really easy to pay $500 for a plate, right? That's one of the ways they raise money. Go in, introduce yourself, and explain that you have a plan to do localized canvassing and organize localized canvassing. And those guys will, once they know you, they usually will assist you in that effort. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Very good. I got a $2 super chat that I missed by King Blackout. It says, aren't we men, or are we not men? Said discount iFi, get the fuck out. All right. We got that one covered. Let's see here. Do you have anything more? Nope. Good. So when are you coming to the West Coast? I know it's like in a week or so, right?
Yeah, like a week and a half, 2 weeks, right in there.
So when you come out here, I can meet up with you in SB. Because I got a cigar to smoke with you, bud. I got a cigar to smoke with you.
yeah, we can do that. Well, look, I'm gonna get rolling because I'm really fucking tired. And
yeah, you should get some rest.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming by, Andrew. As always.
Thanks for having me. Have a good day, man.
You too, bro.
Bye.
Uncle Fatty comes in with the $10 super chat. Says, goodbye, why pie? Question for the grown-ups. If you add or multiply everything, is it still everything?
He's got to give you at least $100. He's got to give you at least $100
what about
for you to answer this bullshit.
Uncle Fatty, damn you. Thank you for the super chat.
Fatty, you owe him more $90 more, okay, for him even reading half of your message. All right.
But yeah, Andrew Wilson, everybody. Graced us this morning. It was fun. Good conversation as always. I mean, really, I owe so much to him and the Crucible crew, for helping me reach the goal of 4K. And so I'm always grateful to have him and the rest of you guys on my side, and part of this team, pushing the same message, just differently. So it's a blessing to be associated with everybody. I really, really, truly am grateful for everybody's support. Teriak,
you've
been quiet way too long.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I've been here with my eyes closed. When I joined there, space is fucking toned out and slept basically. I've about another 20-30 minutes left in me. I'm running on fumes. But what's the question I was gonna ask?
I was waiting for your question.
Yeah,
okay, I know you had something.
Yeah, have you shat in public? And if so, tell us a story.
No, I've never done that.
No, like shat yourself kind of thing.
No, never. Not in public. Always at home. It's always at home. Like thinking it's a fart and it's not a fart, and then you push, then
Clean up on all two of them, right?
No, you just throw those things away. You just throw the pants, underwear, everything in the trash. You know what? You make enough money to go buy some new ones. Good to go. Got to get rid of the evidence. Can't have your wife knowing that you shit yourself when you try to trust a fart.
It's like a forensic.
It's like I'm almost 40. She'll buy me Depends if I do that. I don't need that shit.
Hey, I thought I was going to get with that one, folks.
Hey, I already asked it before. Okay, you just steal my question. It's fucked up, man.
What?
I'm Irish. I'll steal what I want.
All right, I'm gonna
ask. That's all you do.
I'm gonna flip the panel around and I'm gonna ask the panel questions for the next 9 minutes before we wrap up. We'll wrap it up in 9 minutes. All right. Let's start with Weirdo John.
Yeah.
Why are you such a why do you go by Weirdo John? Where did the name come from? Okay, now I get it. The look that you just gave the camera, that explains it enough. Never mind. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It was just Weirdo by itself, but then I couldn't get the name on everything, so I was like, I'll just add my name. So Weirdo John, all platforms, everywhere, Facebook, Spotify, get it. That's me.
And you know, interesting. The machine lies. Machine lies.
Yay.
All right, cool. Why do you think there's so much calamity in these spaces? Like, like why is there so much drama in these spaces?
Well, I think our buddy here sort of, I was listening intently to what he was saying, and it seems like the answer is pretty clear that some of the people that seem to be small content creators are actually plants. They're paid off, funded by organizations that a lot of people have never heard about. So I think that that's the case that we're facing. We're dealing with real life actors, and and you would know about that, Glenn. I mean, you've worked in the Hollywood thing. I mean, so it's like you should be able to spot these people even more familiarly than most people will. You know what I mean? For sure, because it just seems like, like like for example, like YouTube is like a corporation, right? So we're not even people who work inside the corporation. We're just people that are sort of advertising shit outside, trying to get inside to like work in the corporation. But the people who work inside the corporation, they take, their opinions from higher level management. They would have to, so I mean, if you're dealing with global media corporations, I mean, that's
I'm
it's a
talking
done
about
deal.
more on well, I get that. I get the global side of things, but actually, same question to you. Like, why do you think there's so much calamity or so much strife? In on the, like in these YouTubes, like I get drama sells, but like, to the degree like where you like drama to the point where like you're attacking other people. It's not kayfabe. This is like it's like real lives. It's friendships. It's relationships. Like why?
I think a few reasons. One of them being what you just said too, like drum cells. Another one, another obvious one being that, like, the classic keyboard warrior. I can say this and talk a mad game behind my computer screen because, something IRL is really never going to happen. And then another one is that a lot of times people just get mad. They get mad at other people, right? And when they get a piece of information, like I'll just use an example, like last night, that, Base saying that you and I called him a pedo. I was there for that entire conversation. That never happened.
I have
You and I
never,
ever, not even one
nothing
time.
like that's ever came out of my mouth.
Same. But I think that somebody said something else that was said on stream via a video that was replayed. He took it, ran with it without doing fact checking or research, because people believe what they want to believe, especially when they're angry with somebody or they don't like them. So a combination of all of those things, it gets really heated. It's easy to get mad and let it, when you can go back and clip videos and you have all these people that are also involved messaging and screenshotting, the drama gets stirred up and stirred up and stirred up. And then you combine that with, spending too much time online. People need to go outside and touch some ass and grab some ass, touch some grass and grab some ass. As a joke, I say, but like literally though, just chronically online keyboard warrior, not fact checking, hotheads and content and drama farming.
Yeah. But man, like Teriak, like to risk, like it's the cost of lives and like or the effect of individuals' lives. This drama farming factors, in like.
Yeah, some people are very irresponsible. They're very irresponsible.
Well, it's selfishness, right?
Yeah. No,
But
yeah,
like,
you're right. No empathy or sympathy for other people, and thinking about like, oh well, this, that's what, like me personally, like I'll call people out for some shit, usually not until like I've been poked several times, and then I'm like, all right, you know what, you're a bitch and this is why. And I make a rule though to strictly keep it to YouTube stuff and stuff going on YouTube.
But like you
You
see the
know,
same thing with all these kids, like the guy that was like walking into people's house as a prank and all that kind of shit in the UK. Same thing with like the was the streamer guy when he was like went down to the middle of New York City and he basically like made the whole his own chocolate block and all this shit. It's just all this kind of like, oh, let's do the wildest shit possible, like just to get clicks. But what they don't realize is like, yeah, you might get that one video that goes viral, but then no one wants to be with you. No one wants to do anything with you because you'll say one thing, like Andrew was calling out there. What I thought, you'll say one thing on one panel, and then the very next panel or like the next day or whatever, they're talking shit about you. It's like,
yeah.
we
And
can't trust
sometimes
anything this guy has to say, because especially when we're talking about prescriptions, it's like, is this guy actually telling the truth or not? You know what I mean?
And sometimes, unfortunately, it can bleed over into real life. Like, people get such a big head, get so full of themselves, having these YouTube people and all this adoration, and then it's like that starts to, it's almost like it becomes this little like inner demon, this little goblin that you have to feed, your ego with. And you tend to forget that these are real people out there that you're talking about, or sometimes real friendships that are being ruined over goofiness, and that's sad too.
Yeah, like, I mean, I get kayfabe, right? Kayfabe is, really it's fake. The two individuals, the two people at beef, it's manufactured. They made it up. They made up the storyline of the beef, and they decide to, play up this drama, to get people invested. Like,
oh, okay. I didn't know what you meant at first. That makes sense.
yeah, like, so like Paul Bauer and I, we did a kayfabe making fun of all the content creators that like talk about like they're gonna go fight this other content creator, right? And we were doing a satire of it, and we ran with it for like 6 months, right? And then we end up shooting a fake wrestling match between us two, in Vegas, and we aired it on New Year's Eve, like as if it was like Winter Slam or something, like that, just kind of like it was for the championship belt of the Manosphere, like, and we got a belt made, like a wrestling belt and all that good stuff. And it was funny because we're just making fun of it, making fun of all these like alleged internet tough guys that, talk a lot of shit that are not willing to do anything about it. You know what I'm saying? But when things are not kayfabe, Jess, how do you think that could affect, people? Like, it's not just affecting the viewers who believe like this something egregious is true, but it also affects the individuals that they're talking about, but also the individual's family. And there's always consequences, like the ripple effect. Like, what do you think people just do not care enough, Jess?
Hey, I gotta go, guys. I'm sorry to interrupt, Jess. You're lovely. It was nice to meet you. I've got a work call. Bye, guys. Thank you, Glenn.
Goodbye, Ashley.
Nice to meet you. Goodbye.
Bye.
I don't really know how to answer that though.
You know what? That question goes to Teriak. I'll give you another question.
Can you repeat the question?
Like the kayfabe is not kayfabe. Like, some of the beef that's on here is not really kayfabe. And, don't people realize the consequences that their bullshit beef that they're starting could have on other people?
But yeah, like that's what I'm saying. It's like once you start worshiping clicks and all that kind of shit, and like not actual like connections, creating content, like actually good faith, all that shit, you basically just sever that connection between like actually being a real person. Like I said, like you don't actually stand on any real principles. You don't actually like fucking like your words cannot be trusted, because like I said, like I'm just saying, it's one thing in this panel, another thing in this panel. What the fuck's going on here? You know what I mean? Like I pointed out as well, like a lot of these motherfuckers, like they didn't even have anything to begin with. You know what I mean? Like with Speakeasy, he has multiple topics every single Friday night. It's completely different topics, and it's a wide range, trying to hit as much area as possible, just in case you get a diverse panel. You have yourself as well. You talk about fitness. We talk about religion. We talk about the red pill, the whole manosphere community, prescriptions as well as descriptions. And then, like say, even with Andrew as well, like how many times does he come on a call and he starts breaking down, okay, this is what we need to start doing, we need to start attacking, and he literally list out exactly what the enemy is doing and say we need to employ the same thing. So any celebrities that are not going for these guys, we need to wrap them up and fucking block them out, essentially. So like I said, it's just like a stark comparison between the two kind of things, you know. Whereas like when iFight came on, I did not pay attention to the conversation whatsoever. I was like fucking like asleep. Yeah, like my thoughts on it is as well as like I showed you the Christopher Walken speech with the lion, a very, very great speech. And it's just like sometimes you got to show these guys who the fuck you are, and then at the end of the day, after you tear them to shreds, like all they have is ruins left. Because again, even like I said, like my video as well, it's just a one and done. They've got nothing to say to it.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Jess, I got your final question for you. All right.
Okay.
We're going to play Marry, Date, Kill. All right. And not going to, you know what I mean. All right. So out of these three guys, not including me, but you got Teriak here. Between this guy,
turn on your cameras, pussy,
or this guy, who would you marry? Who would you date? And who would you kill?
Oh, okay.
All right.
I see you're already poisoning the well already. I see what you did. I see what you did, Glenn. I'm not on your games, dude.
This is a hypothetical, okay? Doesn't mean you like anybody. It just means that you will be less likely to kill somebody. Two people you're less likely to kill, basically.
I don't know them enough.
Oh, just go off of what you know.
Well, two of them I can't even see.
Yeah, the pussies.
Well, Teriak really does look as feminine as he does in real life in this picture. So that's
I don't trust any man that looks like a nun. That's sus.
Oh, so did you kill him?
Amen.
You kill him?
I don't know.
I'll take the bullet, boys.
I don't know. Anyone that calls themselves weirdo straight up has something sus going on too.
Or I'm just absolutely normal and I'm just using it as a defense mechanism for the future reference. You can't call me weirdo if I'm already named weirdo, right?
Yeah, well.
No, but she's leaning
about Dragon Ball Z too.
She's really leaning towards the alien. It seems like.
Isn't it Dragon Ball Z?
I don't know. I don't watch cartoons.
No, there you go. Yeah, pop on the actual screen. He looks more like a Wookiee. All right.
I mean, he got some mad hair.
You want the Wookiee, you want the femboy, you want the regular guy who's got a weird name. All right, let's go.
Come on, this is the easiest question I could give you.
Easiest question.
It's very easy. The answer is obvious.
What is obvious to you?
Teriak's got to go. That's all I say.
Hey, because I look like a lesbian, that's actually homophobic.
Hey?
It's a hate crime.
That's right.
Yeah,
I'm a hater. All right.
Race. Okay.
All right, come on. I'm gonna play the song. We need to know your answer by the time the song is done. All right. Here we go. I'm gonna give you a little bit of some time.
I don't like really go on this stuff though.
That's all you got. I obviously don't know that.
All right.
Thanks for that.
You're welcome. Try to give you some inspiration. What is love, you know?
I love my partner.
Oh, I get that, but for the game, you're making this game hard.
So difficult. Is this what you're gonna be like?
Because I'm not single. It feels like a betrayal.
All right, okay, here we go. Let's say you had a best friend.
Contact you after this.
It's a best friend. Your best friend is single, and you get to pick who she gets with.
I've forgotten your names. Like,
all right, hold on. I got that covered for you. Don't worry, I can fix that. I'll fix that right now for you. Here we go. Oh, it's already on. Hold on. There you go. You want the names? There you go. The names are right there.
Okay. What'd you say?
So you're gonna hook your friend up with either Weirdo John, Machine Lies, or Teriyaki. She marries one of them. She only dates one of them, and she ends up killing one of them.
Probably Machine Lies.
She what? Dates
setting a friend up with.
Okay, so she dates him or marries him?
Oh, Mary.
All right. Who does she date?
Likes the long hair.
And what do you think about that? We got a $5 chat coming in.
I'm a 4'2"
I can do this. I'm gonna start. You said you'd fly me out. All right. Here's the thing. You already said you'd fly me out.
She says, "Okay, this is what." So, ZT Den says this to you. This is her advice to you, okay, Jess? She's like, marry Machine Lies. He seems authentic. Teriyaki is a good time, so that date Teriyaki, and then delete Weirdo John. I just don't get him.
Don't get him. Okay?
That's what ZT Den offers you as advice.
Well, if it was coming to a friend and I went, "This is my friend Weirdo John," she'd be out of there.
But I'm the only one you know my actual name, John. You don't know this guy's name. You don't know this guy's real name. My real name's John.
Weirdo John is dead, right?
You can just call me John.
But if you say weirdo, that straight away makes a chick think that you're.
So are we pulling the trigger on Weirdo John?
Something to.
Boom! He's dead. And Teriyaki is the one who dates. All right, that wasn't that hard. But just kidding. It was like pulling teeth.
Literally just because of a name. I guess I'm basically canceling myself every time. Maybe I gotta change my name. Everybody's so freaked out about the name Weirdo.
Change it to Western John.
Trying to be different here.
You know what I'm saying? Like Western John.
Oh, yeehaw! I gotta fucking.
But women are just touchy about strange things.
Well, everybody,
I wouldn't walk up to a girl and go, "Hey, my name's Weirdo John." I just go, "Hey, I'm John."
I want to say thank you, everybody, the panel. Thank you for coming up. I want to thank Andrew and Brian for the raid earlier today. I want to say thank you to all the panel members that came up and participated. And really, thank you, chat, for staying along with us. At one point, we had 1,200 live members in the chat. So thank you all very much. For those who stuck it out, 4K, baby. You guys helped me get here. I am so grateful for all your support. You know, all I gotta say is with a solid team and some good supporters like you, I don't see how I could, leave this stream anywhere else other than saying, ready? Cat? Ready? Mods?
New song. Already out. 32.
Like a double rhyme, double on a heavily level, bang the bass.